Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday night 42-21, but no team, and I mean no team, beats the Pittsburgh Steelers quite like the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no team that makes as many unforced errors and just mistakes that are wholly within their control. It seems and feels, of course, a bit biased watching the Steelers predominantly. I'm sure Jets fans and Texans fans and Jags fans would disagree with my assessment. But the point is, Pittsburgh made a ton of errors on offense and on defense as well, that only made this game all the more difficult for them. Bunch of clips to go through today. We'll start with the offense. That's where most of the mistakes lied, but a couple happened on defense as well. We'll save those ones for last. So I'll kind of go through these as rapid fire as possible because no one wants to dwell on a playoff season ending loss too much. But first one here, very early in the game, Steelers' first drive. Run should be going to the left here. Ben handing off in his right hand, but Najee Harris takes the wrong path, and Ben has to switch hands at the last second. Linebacker unblocked for who knows why. And Harris forced to bounce this run. So which way this run's going? Not the way that Ben thought it was. Late switch there to get the ball in his left hand to avoid disaster, but the run goes nowhere to set up third and long. Next drive, run to the left side with Najee Harris. The combo block here by J.C. Hassenauer and left guard John LeGlue. Who's climbing? Who's got who? Nobody knows. They both leave here as Hassenauer leaves the linebacker. LeGlue's climbing the other linebacker. 91 free, fills the hole, forces Harris to try to create there and, basically, contacted at the line of scrimmage. So the combo rules here. Who's going where? Who's coming off? Who's climbing? Confusion on this one, and the play goes nowhere. If you're wondering how Ben gets sacked here by a defensive tackle, clean confusion between Hassenauer and the right guard Trey Turner about where the slide's going. Turner thinks they're sliding to him. Hassenauer sliding away, D tackle free, has a clear shot to take down Ben with relative ease. And more than that, just the easiest sack he'll get. So Turner thinks the slide's coming his way. Hassenauer sliding away, creates D tackle free. See Turner looking back at Hassenauer into this play. He's limping, by the way. He's got that knee injury. Going, thought you were sliding my way, JC. Didn't happen. And that creates the sack on third down and forces yet another Steelers punt. 3rd and 8 for the Steelers. Ben here having to regroup and change this play at the line of scrimmage and trying to audible based on the look, not liking what he's seeing here. He sees Sorensen spinning back to the deep half here at the last second as he's trying to get KC to tip their hands. So they're trying to regroup. Ben's now calling out the routes and telling everyone what to do on this play, but still miscommunication and very loud arrowhead. You see Pat Frymuth should be running an out route here. He does not. He doesn't really end up running much of a route. Just kind of gets locked up here by the slot corner, and Ben's pass hopelessly incomplete. And the cameras caught him not on this tape, but the TV tape. Kind of getting on Frymuth a little bit about the route he was supposed to run. Should have broken out here. Doesn't really run anything, and this play results in incompletion and a punt. 3rd and 3, Pittsburgh so terrible on third down in this game. Started 1 of 8, saved face with some easy conversions late in this game. Ben trying to throw Deontay bottom of the screen. Deontay's double, doesn't think the ball is going to come to him, breaks off his route, which he should have done. But, you are asking yourself why Ben decided to throw this football. No, the safety here is pretty shallow in this play, so I assume Ben thought that maybe Deontay could win that matchup and beat both of those guys. But Deontay, just as surprised that this ball game as anybody, probably Claypool singled up to the top of the screen. Ben throwing in a double coverage. So maybe some miscommunication there on the post snap read that leads to an incompletion and another punt. Certainly glad to have Juju Smith-Schuster back in this game, lying the slot though, but all that time missed and only 2 practices to get back on that moving train does have its issues. RPO run here for Pittsburgh. They've been running a lot of these glance slant routes. Early in the year, the RPOs were a lot of out routes. Now they've been more slant routes. So you've seen McLeod run a ton of those so far this season. So Juju on this play should be running a slant, but he does not. Kind of sits down on a curl route, and that creates a very awkward handoff here to Najee Harris. If you're wondering what the heck happened on this play, why was there this weird, pump fake and then not going to hand it off to Najee? Okay, I am going to hand it off to Najee on this play. Ben wanted Juju on the slant, did not get it, so he was trying to fix the play as best as he could here to give the ball to Harris, and it just makes everything worse, unfortunately. So Juju's supposed to be running on the slant here. He sits down. Instead, he's covered up. And so the really only viable pass option on this play is taken away. Ben's trying to save face here last second with the very awkward exchange to Harris, who's like basically in pass pro at this point because he thinks, okay, I'm not getting the football. Pass will be thrown. It's the pass option on the RPO. But oh, here you go, Najee. And here's a bunch of defenders that are in your face. And you see Ben here to Juju on this play saying, run the in, run the slant here. And that's his signal because there was miscommunication. And Juju, again, just missing so much time, trying to pick stuff back up. Played well overall in the action that he had, but missed a call here. But the issues were not exclusive to the Steelers' offense, although the majority of the mistakes came via the offense. The defense had their issues as well later in the game. Pittsburgh running cover six here, so deep half, quarters, four under zone defense. Cam Sutton in the flat, and also Devin Bush joins him in the flat, and he should not have done that on this play. It creates Robinson open here in the middle of the field for a long catch and run. So Bush expanding here on the back here in the flat. Should let Sutton have him settle down. No one the back's in the flat. Probably something coming behind you. A slant flat combination, slant curl. In this case, they're running this little spot route here with the flat curl and corner route. And so Bush needs to settle there and let Sutton take that as he passes off the back and picks up something behind him. Does not, and it's a big catch and run. An easy completion for Mahomes as the Chiefs get one of their 10 explosive plays on Sunday night. And mercifully, the last example here, miscommunication from a couple of young guys, Trey Norwood and UG3, who's going to take the back here in the flat on this motion man coverage from Pittsburgh, and Gilbert Norwood taking the same guy, the tight end, leaving the back wide open in the flat for an easy completion and a first down. So miscommunication. I don't know who was supposed to take who. Probably UG3 on the back if I had to guess, but I don't know for sure. It's always tough to identify miscommunication, but both of them here taking the receiver is actually a receiver, not a tight end on this play. So probably almost certainly should be UG3 taking that. But that motion, last second changing some of the assignments and trying to react on the fly here, no one takes them. And at least McKinnon, who had a very good game, wide open in the flat. So Pittsburgh again had their issues. They were not the better team, from personnel standpoint against KC, but they just had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And a big theme of the channel this year, unfortunately, has been all of the mistakes and miscues that Pittsburgh's team has had, mostly on offense, but certainly defense not absolved either. They've had a lot of issues with run fits and assignments, and a lot of those young guys that are trying to figure stuff out on the fly. So there's, I believe, 8 examples of just pure miscommunication and breakdowns and Steelers beating Steelers, most of them on offense, but again, some of those defensively as well. And so that has to be cleaned up for next year. Foundational stuff. Don't beat yourself before you think about beating the other team. They do that, you will have better results. But until that happens, and again, hopefully, young guys they grow, they develop, they have the growing pains, they make mistakes. A lot of young guys here, you can kind of see where we're having issues. Hopefully things will improve next year, but they will have to, from a foundational, don't beat yourself standpoint before we can talk about the future of this team and really getting good, consistent, cohesive play. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and we'll talk to you soon.